Pirates vs. Cowboys by Aaron Reynolds. Illustrated by David Barneda. Narrated by Cowboy Billy. Burnt Beard the pirate was the scourge of the 7 seas, the 4 oceans, and several lakes. His scurvy crew had ransacked so many ships and pillaged so many villages that all their treasure had them riding low and slow. It was time to go ashore and bury their booty. Their usual spots were filled to the gills, so those pirates went inland, all the way to Old Cheyenne. Black Bob McCraw was the terror of the Wild West. His gang of rip-roaring rustlers were nastier than weak old chili and twice as gassy. And when they weren't out causing mayhem on the open range, they made their roost in the town of Old Cheyenne. So, needless to say, it was a sad and sorry day when Burnt Beard the pirate and his crew swaggered into Old Cheyenne. Black Bob McCraw noticed them right away, and that was the start of the pirate-cowboy showdown. "Look at the duds on them scallywags," Black Bob said to his posse, which is a nasty thing to say about anyone, even if they are pirates. To Burnt Beard's credit, he acted real civil at first, which wasn't at all in his nature. "Ahoy there, me hearties! Be ye knowin' where we'd be findin' a fair scrub and a swish?" Black Bob rode up real close to Burnt Beard. "What did you call us, you yellow-bellied varmints?" was Black Bob's reply. "Why don't you mangy hornswogglers beat a trail of dust right back out of Old Cheyenne?" Burnt Beard tried again. "Arg, ye bilge rats! Be pointing us to some grub and grog, or we'll be keel-hauling the lot of ye." It didn't take them long to realize that none of them could understand one lick of what the others were saying. None of them cowboys spoke pirate, and none of them pirates spoke cowboy, and that's a recipe for trouble. The more they talked, the madder they got. "Weigh anchor, ye swabs, or you'll be walking the plank and feeding the fishes," Burnt Beard snarled. His crew grabbed for their cutlasses. "Grrr! You rootin'-tootin' critters better head for the hills, or you're going to get horsewhipped and hog-tied like there's no tomorrow," Black Bob scoffed. His posse reached for their 6-shooters. Pistols pointed, swords flashed, lips sneered, nostrils flared. Things were just about to get ugly as pirates, cowboys, and simple misunderstandings can, when Pegleg High Noon rode into town. Pegleg High Noon was the world's only pirate cowboy. Among the cowboys, he was right famous-like for his riding and roping. Among the pirates, he was legendary for his sailing and swashbuckling. He wore a 6-shooter on one hip and a cutlass on the other, and he was the only creature alive who spoke both pirate and cowboy. Pegleg High Noon spotted the white knuckles of them pirates. He spied the firmly planted boots of them cowboys, and he knew that trouble was afoot. And Pegleg High Noon didn't like anybody causing trouble. Except Pegleg High Noon, that is. Pegleg High Noon rushed in, fixing to teach a lesson to pirate and cowboy alike. He was ready to root and toot. He was prepared to swash and buckle. His right hand reached for his pistol, and his left went for his sword. But just then, the west wind shifted, and he caught a foul whiff coming off them cowboys. He turned his head away and sniffed a nasty reek wafting from them pirates. And forgetting the trouble that was afoot, Thinking only of saving his own sense of smell, he grabbed his nose and turned to Black Bob McCraw. "You and your posse smell worse than a polecat in an outhouse," he screeched in perfect cowboy. Then he rounded on Burnt Beard. "You and your crew smell worse than 3-day-old sun-baked shark bait," he bellowed in fluent pirate. "P.U., you guys stink," shouted Pegleg High Noon, waving a hanky in front of his nose. And that was something they both could understand. On that afternoon in the town of Old Cheyenne, Pegleg High Noon did something that neither Black Bob McCraw nor Burnt Beard the pirate had been able to do. He found something that them pirates and them cowboys had in common. Yes, it was their stench, but it was a start. Burnt Beard looked uneasily at Black Bob. "We need a bath," he said, being sure to use real small words. Black Bob nodded. "So do we," he said. So, leaving Pegleg High Noon standing there holding his nose, Black Bob McCraw led Burnt Beard the pirate to Old Cheyenne's one and only bathhouse and saloon. After a good soaping up, them squeaky clean cowboys poured them pirates foaming mugs of sarsaparilla. After a good drying down, those well-swabbed pirates shared the kegs of grog they brought with them. And the Old Cheyenne showdown between the pirates and the cowboys came to a peaceable and sweet-smelling end. This narration of Pirates vs. Cowboys has been brought to you by the Sheraton, Iowa Public Library.